Hi, and welcome to Lecture 2, How to Acquire and Spend Bitcoins. In this lecture, we're going to discuss the following. First, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Bitcoin wallet. The Bitcoin wallet is the thing that you use to store Bitcoins and send Bitcoins to other people. Then we're going to discuss how to actually put Bitcoins into your wallet. Then we're going to talk about moving Bitcoins between wallets. And then finally, we're going to wrap up with some security advice to make sure that your Bitcoins are safe and secure. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin with the Bitcoin wallet from a general overview. The way Bitcoins work and the way that you acquire Bitcoins is that we have this thing called a public key. Bitcoins are cryptographically signed using this magic thing called elliptic curve DSA, and that produces two pieces of information, a public key and a private key. So the public key, just like its name, is known by everybody. Currently, we know every single public key in the entire Bitcoin network. It allows us to find where all the coins are, the addresses you can send coins to. So if you wish to send money to somebody, Bitcoins to somebody, you're going to need to know their public key. That's the Bitcoin wallet address. Now, if you want to send the coins, your coins, to a particular person or have them send coins to you, one needs what's called a private key. So there's a public key, which is known to everybody, and a private key, which is only known to the person who owns the Bitcoins within the Bitcoin wallet. And this is how the system is kept secure. Basically, the private key is like a special key that only you have that's associated with your Bitcoin wallet. And when you use that private key, it gives you the ability to transfer money from that wallet to any public key in the entire network, i.e. anybody who has a Bitcoin wallet. So for the public key, as I said before, everybody knows that. And the address for your wallet is basically derived from this public key that's generated from elliptic curve cryptography. For example, one of my Bitcoin wallets is right here. This address right here, this long, nasty string of stuff, actually is me. So if you have some Bitcoins and you want to send them to me, you can go ahead and send it to this address right here, and I'll actually receive them. And I'm okay with giving the world this public key address because it in no way impacts the security of my wallet. However, I have a private key that only I know. It's built into my wallet. In fact, I don't even know it. My wallet on my computer knows it, and the cloud wallet that I use know my private key, but only they know it. And as a result, I can access the funds, send funds to people, and I'm completely secure and safe because no one else knows this private key. So to recap, what a Bitcoin wallet is it's a bucket to contain all of your Bitcoins. When it has a public address, that mine has this public key here, and when someone wishes to send you Bitcoin money, they have to know the public address to send you money. Think of it like a bank account number. Basically, to send money to a bank account, somebody has to have your bank account number. To withdraw money from a bank account, more often than not, somebody has to have some sort of authenticating information, and that's kind of like the private key. So the private key is a proof that you are indeed the owner of this wallet, allows you to open the wallet and send stuff from that wallet to other wallets. That's basically how a Bitcoin wallet works, and it's backed by elliptic curve digital signing algorithms, which are so powerful that the NSA, a very, very secretive organization the U.S. government maintains to hack into other countries' computers, actually uses DSA in its Suite B protocols, and perhaps even the Suite A protocols, which are classified. So it's a very, very secure way of both storing and sending money. So there's a bunch of different types of Bitcoin wallets. So the first type of Bitcoin wallet is a desktop wallet. So this is basically something that you download and install upon your computer. And there are three Bitcoin wallets that I'd highly recommend: Bitcoin QT, Electrum, and Armory. And they all do different things. For this lecture, I'm just going to talk about Bitcoin QT because this is the most common wallet used, and it's also the easiest one to configure and use. Over time, Electrum may become easier, and Armory is really meant for computer geeks who like messing with things. So I'm going to show you my Bitcoin wallet. This right here is my Bitcoin wallet. It's called Bitcoin QT, and I'm later going to show you where you can download and how to install this wallet. Okay, so Bitcoin QT gives me an overview of how much money I have, and it says right here balance BTC. BTC stands for Bitcoin, and it tells you how many transactions have gone to this wallet. Now, this is a new wallet I created for the purposes of this lecture, so there's not a lot of money in it, and we're going to actually transfer money from this to a different wallet later on, and I'm going to show you how that process works. It's pretty idiot-proof. You have send coins and receive coins, and then also I have a transaction ledger. So this right here is the only transaction in this wallet's history, and you can see it doesn't know who sent it, and this is where the coins went from. And I have some sort of transaction ID associated with it. You can ignore all of that. The important thing is to look at how much did they send me. Confirmations, this is an important concept. Okay, so every single Bitcoin transaction since the beginning of Bitcoins is actually known by the entire Bitcoin network. This is part of the process of how Bitcoins are secure and how we prevent double spending. Confirmations merely mean how many times this transaction has been vetted by the big cloud of supercomputers all working together to make sure that Bitcoin is safe and secure. So this transaction has been confirmed 57 times. About every 10 minutes, a transaction gets confirmed. Statistically speaking, after 6 confirmations, a transaction is basically set in stone, meaning that there is no way that this could have been an illegitimate transaction. There's no problems with this transaction. Even 1 confirmation, statistically speaking, is pretty good, but 6 is 1 in I think 150 billion. It's a very, very, very small probability that there's a problem with this transaction. Much more reliable than, let's say, a MasterCard transaction or a cash transaction. So, this is a desktop client. All right. There's another type of client, the cell phone. The only one I'd really recommend right now that's not cloud-based is Bitcoin Wallet. I think it's made by the same organization that makes Bitcoin QT, and it works for both BlackBerry and Android. I don't know if they have an iOS application quite yet. Bitcoin Wallet's kind of cool because if you download it, it's now tethered to your phone, and now you can actually use your phone as a payment processing and receiving service with Bitcoins. And that's something that you can check out. It's in the Android marketplace if you're curious. And then, of course, there are some cloud-based solutions. So basically, what a cloud-based solution is, it's in the internet. It lives in the internet. It's kind of like Gmail or Dropbox or Carbonite. Any of these services where you create an account and now you have access to something. And there are 3 in particular that I really, really like: Blockchain, Bips, and Coinbase. And the one I use myself is Blockchain. And this is my blockchain account. I'm going to open up my wallet. So this is one of my wallets that I have with blockchain. And you'll see that it has 0.155 Bitcoins in it. And the market value of these Bitcoins as of today, April 16th, 2003, is $11.51. To give you an idea how much Bitcoins have appreciated, this same amount right here would have been worth just a little over $2 less than a year ago. So Bitcoins have increased in value tremendously. But anyway, back to the wallets. This is blockchain. So to actually create a wallet, what one would do, click on click on wallet, click in start a new wallet. You would put an alias in, you'd enter a password and the CAPTCHA, and then after you've done that, you'll be able to log in. So the identifier is actually your wallet ID, and they're going to email this to you, and I'd recommend writing it down or saving it as a text file. So just in some way keep it, because if you lose this, you will not be able to access your wallet. The reason why I use blockchain is they actually encrypt the wallet so they don't have access to it. And so when I enter my password, I can see my wallet, but if I actually choose to send money, which I'll do later in this lecture, I have to enter another password, which makes this wallet incredibly secure. Okay, so this is a cloud-based wallet, and there's a couple of others. One of them is Coinbase, and the other one is Bips. And both of these guys allow you to go ahead and store your money online, access it anywhere in the world, and transfer money to any other person who has a Bitcoin wallet, whether it be something that's installed on a particular computer on their desktop or something online. One thing I will mention about all Bitcoin wallets is wallets have to sync, because every transaction in the entire Bitcoin history is known. They have to sync with the Bitcoin network, and they have to download and verify all of these transactions. If you've just installed this, the syncing can take a little while, about an hour to 2 hours if it's a desktop client. This is why a lot of people like using a cloud-based solution because it's already been synced on the server. But once this has been installed, the syncing is just a few seconds, sometimes a couple of minutes if you've left your computer off for a while and the wallet hasn't been on. So that's basically how one installs a wallet. The place you go to get Bitcoin wallets. Oops. Just a moment. The place you go to get Bitcoin wallets is this website right here, bitcoin.org, choose your wallet. So we're going to go ahead and open that up. Bitcoin.org is, if there ever was an official site for this decentralized currency, it is bitcoin.org. And there's a lot of wonderful resources on this website about the Bitcoin, but they have an entire set of resources specifically about the wallet. And if you find it from Google, you just you get to the front page here and just click on Choose Your Wallet. And this right here is the wallet network. So the software wallets are what I call the desktop wallets. You can download them and install them on your computer. They mention Bitcoin Wallet as an Android application. Blockchain is another one that's... Blockchain is the website, but you also have an Android and an iOS app that you can access your cloud-based wallet from your cell phone if you so desire using blockchain.info. And Paytuna is also another one. And these are all recommended. They've been vetted. People believe in them, and the vast majority of the money in the Bitcoin economy is stored in one of these mechanisms. So that's how you get a wallet. They're all free. They're going to be free forever. The money is not in charging you to use the money. So just like PayPal, these guys are free. All right, so that's basically how you get a wallet. And to recap, a wallet is just basically a bucket where all your money, your Bitcoins, live. You put them in there. It has a public key, which is the address of your wallet, and a private key, which is the key you use to be able to access and go ahead and send money from your wallet. Okay, so a natural question you're going to ask me is, well, Charles, that's great. You've taught me about these wallets, but how do I actually get Bitcoin money? Well, remember something. Bitcoins are money. So it would be kind of like going to Marshall's or to Payless or something and buying a wallet. And then you come to me and say, well, how do I fill this wallet? And I say, you have to work. You have to do something. You have to buy something, right? You have to exchange some sort of existing money for the currency you want to get into. Bitcoin, as it being money, you don't get it for free, or else it would be some sort of bizarre scam. So there's a couple of ways to acquire Bitcoins. Option A is you buy them, and you buy them through an exchange like Mt. Gox. Mt. Gox was engineered from the ground up to be just like any other currency exchange. And right now, Mt. Gox is selling Bitcoins for $75. Well, the people on Mt. Gox are selling Bitcoins for $75.23. And this is an exchange, so the price changes day to day. Sometimes it goes very high. I've seen it as high as $266. When I purchased Bitcoins, they were in the single digits. And then even before that, they were even lower, like 10 cents a Bitcoin. So they've appreciated in value considerably over the past 4 years. So one option is to go ahead and go to an exchange and purchase them off of the exchange from some other person who has Bitcoins, as you would purchase the renminbi or the yuan, or the yen, or the Australian dollar. Buy them just like you would any other currency. There are some websites like Coinbase and Bips who allow you to purchase Bitcoins at market price from them and have it directly deposited into your Bitcoin account. And I'll show you Coinbase. So this is Coinbase, and they give you an option to go ahead and purchase the Bitcoins. Bips also allows you to do this. Blockchain has options to purchase Bitcoins as well, and I'll encourage you to go to these websites and take a look at them. All of them are very legitimate. There's a little bit of a handling fee, but the price is so volatile that usually if you purchase them, you'll probably make a profit within a few days if you chose to sell them. Another option you have is to actually purchase physical Bitcoins. Now, throughout this entire lecture and all the lectures, we've been talking about Bitcoins only living online, but this company called Cassius decided to actually mint Bitcoins. And how they did it, and I have an example here on eBay, is that they got a coin and they put a holographic sticker on this coin, and they give people who look at the coin the public key address. It's on the coin, so you can verify that this is legitimately a real Bitcoin, and they have a hologram that if you tear off the hologram, the private key is underneath it. So this is actually a Bitcoin and a wallet all in one. So this is a wallet containing exactly one Bitcoin. If you purchase the coin, you can just, by entering the private key into your Bitcoin wallet, you'll be able to transfer the money off of this coin to anywhere on the internet you so desire. So in essence, this is as close to a physical representation of a Bitcoin as possible. And these are quite popular. Not many of them have been minted, and people do love buying them. You can see this is just one Bitcoin, and even though the market price right now is $70, give or take, it's already in market for $202. To give you an idea, some of these, $405 for 2011, $500 for another coin. So the people really do like these guys. It's kind of a cool, interesting concept. They collect physical Bitcoins. So that's option A. You can buy them. Option B is you can barter for them. There's a couple of websites that do exist, which will be included in the appendix, for people who have Bitcoins to hang out and do things. And you can just chat with them and say, hey, I'd like to get some Bitcoins, even 0.0001 of them. Can I do something for a Bitcoin? And they'll say, oh, yeah, of course you can, something like that. So option B, just like anything else, you can barter. And option C, just like real life, you have a job, you go work at Walmart, or you go be a doctor or an engineer, whatever you are. You can perform services to acquire Bitcoins because you're performing services to acquire dollars, or you can sell goods. In fact, if you're a merchant who runs a website, you can actually accept Bitcoins as payment using a website called BitPay. BitPay is really wonderful. They've received funding from a venture capital firm. The one right now escapes me, but they're the de facto provider of merchant services for people who wish to accept Bitcoin. Very low exchange rates, very easy to integrate, and I think they even do real-time cash conversions where people can pay you in Bitcoins and then they'll just convert it into whatever the dollar amount of the Bitcoin is at the time and give it to you if you so desire. So those are really the three ways that you can fill your wallet. Remember, Bitcoins are real money and people trade real money for them, so you're not going to get them for free. You have to do something for them. And there are three options. You can either buy them, you can barter for them, or you can perform services or sell goods for them, just like real life with real money, like the US dollar. Okay, so now that you know what a Bitcoin wallet is, and now that you know how to get Bitcoins, how do you move money from one wallet to another wallet? So I'm going to do that myself with my own wallet. So here is my wallet online, and this is my address for my wallet online. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer money. I'm going to copy my address right here, and make sure you get the address right. And I'm going to open my wallet I have right here. I guess I must have closed it, so I'll open it up again. Oh wait, I guess it's right here. There we go. It says loading wallet. It just takes a second to boot up. Verifying block database integrity. All these cool terms that you don't need to know. Kind of the magic of computers. And it says out of sync. It's going to take a moment to sync up. 2 blocks remaining. 1 block remaining, and there we go. We are synced with the network. Okay, so I'm going to send coins, and it says pay to. I enter in the address, and it says overview right here. I have 0.01 Bitcoins, so let's send all my Bitcoins. To self, and that's just to remind me that I've sent Bitcoins to myself. So I'll click send, and it says, are you sure you want to do this? Remember something, well, when you send Bitcoins to an address, it is irreversible. You can't go ahead and click a button to get your money back. It's like handing a $20 bill to somebody. Unless they give it back to you, it's theirs. Ah, okay. There's a small transaction fee for sending, which is 0.005, so I'll just send that much. There we go. Yes. And you'll hear a little beep sound. Beep. All right. Then you're going to see my transactions. And then all of a sudden, right here, instantly, my Bitcoin wallet, living on a server thousands of miles from where I live, It just recognized, hey, somebody sent you something. And within a very small period of time, within 10 minutes to 15 minutes, this money is going to go ahead and be available to me. And that's kind of the magic of Bitcoins. This is something where with credit cards online, you can have chargebacks up to 3 months later. With PayPal, you can have 3 to 5 days when you're transferring money between PayPal and a bank account. Any movement of money, for the most part, online does take some time. Hours at the minimum, usually days, a couple of business processing days. The Bitcoin, within 60 minutes, there's an astronomically low probability that that's a bad transaction, meaning that within 60 minutes, your money is guaranteed to be there. Usually within one block transaction, one confirmation, your money is good to go. So that's 10 minutes, the maximum amount of time it takes to move money from one block to the next block. Now, this transaction may have been from myself to myself, but the Bitcoin network has no way of knowing that. In fact, this wallet address right here is not connected to my identity in any way, shape, or form. If I didn't tell you that that was my wallet address, there would be no way for you to backward engineer that to me. This is where the anonymity of the system comes from. You don't need to know the person's identity to be able to receive money or to send money to them. There's no name attached to any of the transactions. And that's why the Bitcoin has so much utilities. There's an anonymous transaction system built into the very design. Okay, so that's how you send money. And you can see my balance in my wallet now. Number of transactions. Okay. Another thing to remember, again, I'm going to say it, and I'll say it again, is that transactions are not reversible. Okay? There is no way once you have sent a Bitcoin from one address to another address, unless the other person you've sent it to consents, to get your money back. So buyer beware. Be very careful about your transactions and when you send money and to whom you send it to. Another thing is that it's very possible to send Bitcoins to the wrong address. So that crazy number that I had there, let me open this up. If I even change something like this R, for example, to a G, the Bitcoin network would allow me to do that. I would be allowed to send that even though there might not be a physical human being attached to that address. That may not exist. The Bitcoin network has no way of knowing if this key within reason is actually connected to a person, to a wallet. So if you have a typo inside the wallet address, it's very, very easy to send money to the wrong person, or in some cases to send money off into oblivion, much less like throwing your $20 bill into the garbage. This is why it's really highly recommended that you copy and paste Bitcoin addresses, or you use something like a QR code to send Bitcoins, or you use a cloud-based wallet and you use a service like BitPay to purchase things, because it takes care of these addresses for you. You'll never have to type them. The only time you should ever type something up is when you're writing down your private key on a piece of paper or something like that as a backup solution. So it's very important to remember that. Okay, so now some security advice. The first thing I'd say is treat your Bitcoin wallet as you would your bank account. So it's perfectly fine and it's perfectly okay to share your public address with everybody. I did just in this lecture. And if anybody wants to send me Bitcoins, I would really appreciate it. That's nice. Tips are appreciated. That said, a private key is kind of like your bank password. Don't share it with anyone, okay? Generally speaking, you don't even know your private key. Like, for example, I never had to enter my private key to turn on my wallet. It's actually built on into here. And to back it up, if I click on File, I can back up my wallet like this and save it as something like backup. And there we go. I can actually load my private key from that backup anywhere, and I can even put that backup on a I can put that backup on a flash drive. I can email it to myself and so forth. So be careful about who you share your private key with. You can actually encrypt your wallet if you have the knowledge of how to do that. It's highly recommended, because it's like putting your money into a vault. Using Bitcoin QT, you click encrypt wallet, and there's an entire process that you have. And so if you have a shared computer, or you're not really, if it's on a laptop or something, you have a potential of losing your laptop, probably a good idea to encrypt your wallet. That said, if you lose your laptop, there is no way of recovering your wallet outside of having it backed up. So you'll lose the money inside the wallet. I guess the solace is that the person who steals your laptop won't have access to the money, though. But if you do back up the wallet, then you can absolutely rebuild the wallet somewhere else just by importing it. Oops. There we go. And I recommend, again, to back up your wallet in 2 separate places. So I'd recommend putting that .dat on a flash drive and probably emailing it to yourself. This is if you choose to use a desktop-based wallet. If you go for a wallet online, like blockchain, for example, the wallet service that I use, it's automatically backed up. And as long as blockchain is in business, you can go ahead and use your wallet. The import and export options, just a moment. The import and export options actually allow you to go ahead and recover your wallet from their server as well. So let's say, for the sake of the argument, blockchain goes out of business, you'll still have access to your wallet. You can import it, you can export it, you can encrypt it, you can do all these things. And if you need any help at all with that, they actually have a service number. You can call them and they'll let you know everything you need completely free. And this service using blockchain is completely free as well. They're a very good company. So there we go. So I'd recommend backing up your wallet regardless if it's in the cloud or if it's on a desktop. But that said, if it's on a cloud, it's probably very safe. One thing to understand, if you're going to use a cloud-based wallet, it's just like having a bank account. That means that the person you create your wallet with understands something about you. They know your identity. They know you're associated with that address, so you've kind of given up anonymity for convenience. And also, they may have an ability to prevent you from using your wallet if you don't have the private key for it. So just be careful about that. Blockchain is kind of nice because your wallet is encrypted on their server, and your main password is something that you use to decrypt the wallet, and blockchain never is involved in that process. As a result, they actually have no access to your wallet whatsoever. Other cloud-based solutions, that's not necessarily true. So just be careful and be advised about that. Okay, so to recap, we discussed the Bitcoin wallet. It's the bucket upon which you put your money in. There's a public key, a private key. The public key is your address where people send money to. The only way that people can access that money is by using a private key. A lot of this is usually taken care of for you by a Bitcoin wallet client like Bitcoin QT. Go to bitcoin.org to go ahead and read more about wallets and to download a free wallet, or you can go to blockchain.info to create a cloud-based wallet. We covered how to transfer money from one wallet to the next. You need to have the address of the wallet you want to send the money to. Make sure you get that right, because even a small typo can send money off into oblivion or to the wrong person. Once you have that address, you just click the send button, and your money is going to be in that person's wallet and confirmed in less than 1 hour. 6 confirmation windows. In terms of security advice, I'd highly recommend that you treat your wallet like you would a real life wallet or a bank account. Don't let people have certain private pieces of information. For example, don't let people have access to a computer that has your Bitcoin wallet on it unless your wallet is encrypted. And also, it's a good idea to back up your wallet, because if your hard drive crashes, unless you have that private key, you won't be able to access your money, or else there wouldn't be any security in the Bitcoin system. And if you use a cloud-based wallet, absolutely make sure that you trust that cloud-based solution. And if they're storing it on their server, preferably you have some way of retrieving that private key and using it for your own purposes. Finally, to acquire Bitcoins, just like acquiring real money, you have to do something. Either you have to exchange a different type of money for Bitcoins, and you do that on Mt. Gox or some other exchange. And we're going to have a whole lecture actually on Bitcoin speculation. We're going to talk about Mt. Gox in much greater detail. Or you have to barter or trade goods and services for a Bitcoin, just like real money. So that's all I have for you. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to email me or to go ahead and comment on this lecture. And until next time, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.